Peace and blessings, everyone. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing today? I am the Moon Mama, and today is the day that Jupiter rules. Jupiter just went retrograde in Cancer. Jupiter is the planet of blessings and expansion. It's the planet of wisdom. It's the planet that governs the energy that governs your practices that get you to your spiritual highest self, right? So Jupiter is the planet that would rule like a priest or priestesses. Jupiter is the planet that governs your spirituality and the things that access your spirituality. So if you use crystals or the Bible or whatever it is, that is the energy with Jupiter. Of what you do to cultivate your connection to the spiritual realm. Now, the thing that's really important that I discovered is important is that to know that the spiritual realm is within. The spiritual realm is within. So anything I'm doing, whether it's crystals or prayer or meditation, I'm doing that to get within myself, to get out of the ego mind and into the spiritual realm. Now, I want to say we don't celebrate that. We haven't. We've had this idea that spirituality has to be rooted to Jesus, or spirituality can only look this way. If it looks like, this, it's evil. If you don't have that, you're going to hell. We have all of these narratives around our spirituality that have created blockages and fear and traps that keep us from ourselves. Being told that you're a sinner, that is a block that keeps you from your spiritual wisdom and power. Being told that you should only have this kind of sexual partners, and all of that blocks you from your spirituality, because your spirituality is connected to your sexuality. Your spirituality and your sexuality are one thing, though they are not only one thing, right? At the lowest level, our spirituality, and I don't mean this from an ego perspective, like good or bad, but you can access your spirituality through your sexuality. They are connected. So Jupiter in Cancer is the mother. It is the energy that creates life. That's what the mother is. It is the energy that understands the pattern, not like a human being. It is the energy of the pattern that creates life, like that, because it's not about understanding. It just is that way. Cancer is home, it's nurture, it's intuition. So with Jupiter and Cancer retrograde, our intuition is increasing. Your intuition, your inner knowing, your creative powers are actually beginning to increase because of Jupiter in Cancer. Now, I'm talking about this generally, but what does it look like for you personally? For you personally, what's happening in your inner world? Cancer is the inner world. Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling secure? Are you needing to make some adjustments in that experience? Because Cancer is about safety. Do you feel safe to be yourself? Do you trust your intuition? Do you trust your inner knowing, right? My experience for me, I do rituals to build my trust. I do a ritual. So for instance, if there's something happening in my life, I'm trying to think of something. I'm like, okay, great. I have something. So last night I was watching Eddie Murphy's, he has a new show on Netflix, and I was watching it. And when I grew up with Eddie Murphy, I grew up watching, I want some ice cream. I grew up with that kind of stuff as a child. So Eddie Murphy was very much a part of the psyche of my childhood. And And I like to follow that stuff because I find it interesting. And I remember when he and his wife divorced, Nicole, his first wife, divorced. And I remember when he was married to her, being like happy that he was married to a beautiful black woman. And now he's married to a white woman. And I felt like I was like, ugh, like, ugh. And I noticed that. And I'm like, why do I feel that? Why do I feel so like, why do I have so much energy around him being married to a white woman? I just sat with it. I was just like, what is it this feels like for me? And what came up for me was like my intuition, right? This is intuition. What I saw was like, oh, it's really interesting when a black man gets really successful that he marries a white woman. And then when he dies, all that is his goes now to that white woman. That's legally how things are sort of set up in this country. All that is his goes, and it's like I feel, it feels, that felt sad to me. That felt like it feels like a loss for us as black people. Like the resource that someone like a Eddie Murphy accumulates over his lifetime, all of these great successes in his transition will go legally. You know, I don't know all the details because they can have all kind of things, but the look of it, right? Like, it's like, oh, he's chosen to align himself with a white woman. And that felt sad to me. It just felt sad. And so I honor that intuition. I honor that knowing, because Jupiter in Cancer, it's like, what secures you? Money secures us in this realm. You know, it's one of the things that we see as security. Community, family, belonging, all of that is a sense of security. That's Cancer. And in that projection, like Eddie Murphy choosing a white woman, it's almost like a sense of security is lost, because when a black man with all of his resource, not just money, his accolades, his power, when he takes that away from the black community and into the white community, the black community, in my perspective, experiences a loss. And for me, it's important for me to be able to name a thing, just to name it, not to make it wrong, just to see it as what it is, to see the experience, not from judgment, but from discernment, right? Like, oh, that's how this system is set up. And we live in a system that is set up that when people have success often looks white. And what does that do in the system of the black community? What does that do with our creations? What does that do with our ability to move forward? How do we make ourselves safe and secure? I don't have the answers to this, but I'm definitely willing to be in my own conversation about it, because I know that when I'm in my own conversation about it, I'm healing it inside of myself. I'm coming into new understandings, new ways of being. You know, there was a time when I was a young woman wanting to be married, and I really used to believe that because I was a black woman, the same opportunities were not afforded to me because I was a black woman. I believed that. Now, what I understand now is that because I'm creating my reality, my belief is which is Jupiter, is sending the signal to the universe to say what I feel worthy of, what I feel capable of. So I'm doing the work to heal that perspective. I see it in this experience with Eddie Murphy, but it's a collective thing. And I'm doing the work to heal it inside of myself by observing it and beginning to reframe it. You know, and I don't know what that is yet. I'm still working with it. I'm not clear yet, But the sun is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is alchemy. It's also ancestral patterns and wounds, right? So this is an appropriate thing to be coming up during the scorpionic time because it's ancestral. And this experience that we are having, in this country as black people, it's an ancestral code that is now being alchemized into a greater experience of awareness, power, magic, possibility. And it's not a logical thing, right? Like this thing that I experienced watching this show on Netflix with Eddie Murphy, it's not about him. Like I want everybody to have love if that's what they want. I think that Black people and white people can find love together. I do believe that. I also know that we live in a country that has said your highest levels of success are rooted in whiteness. I understand the coding, the influence, right? I'm not going to deny that. And I know that many of us aspire to success, and when we're reaching it, we will reach for what the ruling class has determined as valuable. And I am working to alchemize that in my own system, in my own psyche, in my own narratives, in my own beliefs about myself and the way I move through the world. Because I know that what I believe is what I'm actually going to experience. So this belief came up. It's like something that is decayed. It's based in an old narrative that I inherited, that I was born into. And during Scorpio, I'm going to be compassionate with myself. I'm going to be loving with myself. I'm going to remind myself of my own value and worth and alchemize that so that isn't something that I'm no longer carrying forward. That is Jupiter and Cancer, creating new patterns of creation through understanding that the belief system is creating the reality. I inherited a belief system, many of us did, that said to be Black is not to be safe. To be Black is not to be valuable. To be Black is not right. To be a Black woman is to be less than a white woman. I inherited those beliefs. So I confront them inside of myself. I bring compassion to myself, love to myself. I reorient the energy. I alchemize it so that I can create a new experience. The moon is in Virgo. While the moon is in Virgo, because I have a Virgo sun sign, while the moon is in Virgo, every month I fast. And I fast because that is the time that my system gets to now say, we no longer need this. We're going to let it go. And we're going to adopt this new way of being. Because Virgo is the perfectionist. And the perfectionist is saying this works and this does not. This perfection is not a constant state. Perfection is a state of constantly becoming. It's constantly evolving, constantly growing. And here's the thing, you're growing to a code that is already within you because you're born with everything you need in you. You're not becoming something that is outside of you. You're becoming more of yourself. I'm becoming more of who I'm meant to be. I'm deleting those codes of racism and power because of race and men having more. I'm deleting those things. I'm outgrowing those things. We don't have to stay stuck in this shit, okay? And as I see it in myself, I see it, I watch it come up, and then I bring love to myself, and I do the rituals and the practices. I might do a spiritual bath. I'm fasting. I might, do all manner of the breath work to release it, to embody a new way of being. All right, you all, if you guys need support, this is Mercury retrograde. Just so y'all know, Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio right now. You can go pick up the Mercury retrograde workbook. This is why I can do this work, because I understand the timing and when these things are available. It's time to reprogram my mind right now. Why? Because Mercury is in Scorpio. Because Mercury is in Scorpio. Retrograde, reprogramming those ancestral codes. we don't know when we're going to have this opportunity again. That's why I'm doing it now, because the universe is doing it. So I'm doing it too, because this is what the cosmic clock is doing. So if you want to pick up that book, you can do it here in my link tree on Instagram, or you can go to my website, healwithmoonmama.com, pick up the Mercury Retrograde Workbook, and it has all the rituals and all the practices in there to assist you in doing what I'm talking about doing now. healwithmoonmama.com. Peace and blessings, you all. Have a really beautiful day. Bye-bye.